And I'm here to tell you, none of your financial advisors are giving you this tip of advice. You get a chunk of your paycheck taken out every day that you work to plan for retirement. You need to take a chunk of time out of your day every day to plan for your Every day, millions of people in this country leave their homes, they leave their families, and they go to work. And for a majority of workers, they set aside a specific percentage of that paycheck to be put into a 401k or some form of retirement account. They do that with the hopes that when the time is right and it's time to retire, they are going to be set for life. And I'm here to tell you in this video that what you're able to do in your 60s, 70s, and beyond has both everything and nothing to do with your financial freedom. In the first part of this video, I'm going to explain to you an encounter I had with a 75-year-old patient of mine from a few years ago, and how, more importantly, I'm pretty sure when he was younger, he was thinking to himself when he was in his mid-70s, he's going to be set. And the main reason, unfortunately, he is not. I'm going to follow that real-world scenario with my current situation and illustrate to you how if I don't make a change, I'm going to end up exactly like he is, and I bet you will too. And in the second part of the video, I'm going to show you the change that he should have made when he's my age, the change that I'm going to make, and the change that I hope you will make so you don't end up like him. As an aside, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are over 330 financial advisors in this country. And according to Northwestern Mutual, between 35 and 40% of workers in the workforce today actually work with a financial advisor. And I'm here to tell you, none of your financial advisors are giving you this tip of advice. And if I'm being honest, it's not because of malice or they're trying to be sneaky. They just don't know about it. And by the end of the video, you'll completely understand why. And for all the financial advisors out there watching this video, getting their blood boiling, this is not your fault. You're just not trained on it. You'll get it in a second. But first, let me tell you about the scenario of the 75-year-old man. This was about 2 years ago. I was working in the hospital and I remember this specific encounter vividly. The patient's wife, of about the same age, brings her husband into the emergency department. Most of the history is provided by the wife. She has various concerns, but the crux of the problem was her husband just didn't have the strength to continue on. He had type 2 diabetes, he had neuropathy in his legs, he couldn't feel his legs other than the chronic pain they were in, he was obese, he was 75, his brain was sharp, he just didn't have the strength really to even get from the bed to the bathroom without falling over. And before you jump to conclusions, I don't want you to picture in your mind this incredibly unhealthy appearing, morbidly obese man. But his real problem was he had reached a position in life where he lacked the muscle mass to be able to support his body weight. But here's the financial issue that this whole video is about. His wife was standing next to him on the stretcher. I remember it completely. She put her hands up on the stretcher, and for some reason I looked down, I looked at her watch. It was this shiny Rolex watch, one of those watches that just grabs your attention. I subsequently noticed she had all this fine jewelry on, she had the necklaces, and then realized that her hair was did, her makeup was done, and she had one, and I don't know what kind of handbag she had on, but I can promise you it was expensive. After the initial assessment in the emergency room, surprisingly things came back pretty well. The guy's chest x-ray was clear, his laboratory values were good, he didn't have a urinary tract infection, so when his normal lab test returns, I went back into the room and looked at his wife and said, everything looks fine. He just really is deconditioned, and you guys may be at the point where you need to consider assisted living. And I'll never forget what she said. She looked me straight in the eye and said, well, who can afford that? I couldn't believe it. I'm looking at this woman. In addition to all the fine jewelry that she had mentioned, she talked about her husband's decline over the last few months. She talked about the Corvette in the garage that he could no longer drive. She talked about their small business. They should be set for life with everything at least they're portraying that they have. And don't jump to conclusions. This entire video isn't about setting up your financial freedom so you can afford a nursing home when you're in your 70s, 80s, and 90s. Listen to me for a second. Look at my position that I'm in right now, and I guarantee that it probably mirrors a position that you are in. This past weekend, my family and I went out of town, and whenever we go out of town, I have to put the cargo box on top of the 4Runner. I do it every time. Now, I am 44 years old. I've been lugging this cargo box around for years. But this was the first year where I thought to myself, this is getting kind of hard, putting it on top, putting the heavy luggage in. And facts are just facts. As you get older, you get more deconditioned unless you don't make changes. If I'm struggling doing something now at 44 years old, I just won't be able to do it when I'm 64. Certainly won't be able to do it when I'm 74. When I'm 74, God willing, if my brain is sharp, I'm still going to want to travel. I'm going to want to travel with my wife. I'm going to want to travel with my grandkids. I'm going to need to be able to put this on top of the car. And if I'm struggling to do it now, I will not be able to do it then. And there is the point of the video. Financial advisors all across the country are telling you what you need so you can be able to afford to take those trips when you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, live the lifestyle that you want, but they're not telling you the physical fitness advice that you need to do. So what exactly is this magical $600 piece of financial advice that I'm advising everyone to take advantage of? Well, it's not a stock, it's not a mutual fund, Lord knows it's not Bitcoin or some meme coin. So to explain to you what I'm talking about, it might actually be better to show you, and it's not in the studio, it's in my house, so let's go. For $600, invest in a home gym. And before you click away, I'm not talking about spending thousands of dollars. Really, all you need is a workout bench and a set of power blocks. And because I don't like recording in the house as much, I'm gonna finish this video back in the studio, but don't click away and I'll explain exactly what I mean. The reality is most people who have gym memberships don't go nearly as often as they intend to go. Honestly, if you have a gym membership and you go 5 days a week, this video is not for you. But if you don't have a gym membership, or you do have one with the plans to go 5 days a week, but you only go 1, 2, maybe 3 days a week, this is what I'm talking about. The reality is our lives today are so fast paced, most of us don't have time to go and exercise every day. You get a chunk of your paycheck taken out every day that you work to plan for retirement. You need to take a chunk of time out of your day every day to plan for your physical retirement for the reasons that I mentioned. But who has an hour every day? Very few people do, and that's why the home gym is so important. And the reality is it doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. And what's great about the power blocks that I have here is it's really all you need. They have adjustable weights. For longevity purposes, you really can do everything you need to do to have a long and healthy life without ending up like that 70-year-old that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Think about it. Hulk Hogan is in his 70s. Look at him. He's not going to be in a retirement center anytime soon. And this isn't about money, and you certainly don't have to be as big as he does. But think about the things you do around the house or at work that are physically active that you used to be able to do easily, but now are getting somewhat more difficult. If you don't make this change, I promise you, you are going to end up in the bed at the hospital just like that guy, because I see it every time I work. I'm in the same boat. Part of me making these videos is a reminder to me to do what I need to do. And what's great about these power blocks is how adjustable they are. You just need one set, or you just need one kettlebell, or you just need one kettlebell and a bench, and you are really set to go. Yes, I have a gym membership too. That's where I go when I have the time that I can't do the exercises at home, but at least having a basic setup at home lets you do it easy. To do one set of everything, we're talking 10 minutes. Wake up, do one set. When you get home from work, do one set. Right before you go to bed, do one set. You don't have to sit down and devote 30 minutes to it. Just throughout the day, get your 3 sets in of the exercises that you want to do, but you have to do it every day. If your employer said going forward they were not going to take any of your paycheck on Wednesdays and Thursdays to put toward your 401k, you would either say, hey man, that's not cool, or you would look for another job. That's how serious you take it. You have to be just as serious with your physical health going forward. I made an entire video a few months back talking about how you get older, strength and conditioning becomes vitally important. Please go back and watch this video. But if you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, yes, healthcare will keep you alive. That guy that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm sure he's still alive. He's probably lying in a bed somewhere just waiting to die. The medicines that doctors give you will keep you alive, but they won't keep you happy. They won't keep you functional. That's where this comes in. The great thing about these is one set of adjustable kettlebells or one set of adjustable dumbbells and your entire family can do it. Start your kids on being healthy early and they won't have this problem. I'm not saying doing this is all you need to not end up in a nursing home, but it's a significant piece of the pie, and it's a piece of the pie that a lot of people are avoiding, and I don't want you to fall into the same trap. Everything that I have in my little corner of the house for the home gym, I will put links in the description below. Please check them out. I've literally had these power blocks for years. I think they work great, and I don't have any problem recommending them, but please at least get some form of home gym where you can work out every day. That's it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.